Hi everyone, it's Jade from Career Journey Professional. I'm a career and lifestyle coach helping people to find the meaningful and purposeful career for yourself. A few weeks ago, several of my new clients, they actually got invited for interview for their dream job. So excited, right? But then after the interview, 2 or 3 of them actually asked me, I don't really know if I performed well, or I don't know if the interviewer liked me. So today I will share a topic about 6 signs that you will know if you performed well in your interview. So the first thing is called a chemistry fit. It's similar to when you went on dating. If you meet a guy and if there is chemistry, do you feel that spark? Similar to interview. So when you go in, what are the things that's showing that you might be having a chemistry fit? It's they're giving you positive affirmations. So it can be body language, it can be their facial expression, or it can be verbal. It can be like, well done, or like, that's a good answer, I liked it, or something like that. That means whatever you're saying to answer their question, it's spot on. It's what they wanted to hear. Other things can be a cultural fit, like your values, your vision, it's fitting with what they want, as in their company, their background, the values and visions of the company itself. Or they keep calling you by your first name. They call your name, right? They remember your name and they keep calling it. They like you, and that's how they can. That shows that they like you. Another thing is the interview actually went over time. So if your conversation is flowing and you feel like the time passed by and the interview actually run over than expected time, that means like they're curious about you, they're asking more information about you, or it's just natural that conversation went over time because it's pleasant. So that's number 1, the chemistry fit. Number 2, it's they are trying to sell you the role instead of you have to sell yourself. Again, that means like they are really interested in you and they want to recruit you. They want to make it attractive to you so that you can come to their company to take on that role. What are the things that can possibly happen is they probably started to sharing a bigger picture of the department or of the projects they're doing, of the future prospects, or of the company's future development, strategic plannings and stuff like that, making it sound more appealing, making it sound more attractive, that you may have a wider exposure in terms of the work and projects that you can do. You may have potentials to get promoted, and you may have other possibilities that comes up. They're trying to sell you the role. So once you feel like, they're trying to sell you something, that means you're really doing well. That means you're really a good candidate, that they're trying to make it more attractive to you. You were taking into more consideration of taking on the role itself. That's number 2. Number 3 is introducing you to additional people that's not supposed to participate in the interview. It can be your peers, like your future team member, your future colleague, or your future manager or other department's manager or other decision makers. The reason being, that means they really like you, or whatever that you're saying, they wanted to introduce you to other decision makers, so they can have an assessment or have a taste of you as well. So when it comes to the final decision, it will be easier, or they can easily persuade the others that you're a good candidate. So again, it happened to me, and it could happen to some of you as well. Like in the interview or towards the end of the interview, the interviewer may, or like, you probably want to meet our manager or HR manager or line manager or a future colleague, or this person might be your future buddy or supervisor. So if that happens, that's a really good sign. Well done. The 4th sign, it's actually they started to asking about things that's in the next step. They could be asking you, what's your notice period? When can you start working? As we all know, if you're leaving your previous job, or if you're graduating, that you may need some time before you're ready to work. So if they started asking that, because that means they're already thinking about the next step. They're thinking about when can you join our team ASAP, right? So they're asking about your notice period. They ask about your holiday arrangements, or if they're asking about your start date, when can you start? And other stuff like other prospects that you're applying, other companies that you're going for interview. Again, think about this in a dating scenario. If a guy or if a girl meets you and he or she really likes you, and he or she will probably want to know if you have potential other candidates in your life, right? If there's other companies that you might be considering, or if that's the case, how can they make it more attractive to you, or how can they recruit you over the other companies? So again, if they're asking about such things, that means you're doing well in your interview. So number 5, signs is the fifth sign is they're giving you a clear time frame of what's going to happen, of the next step of the recruitment process, or of their recruitment plan. For example, they might be telling you, so this is the first round, the second round will be you're interviewing with a manager from another department, the third round might be having a group interview, and then that will be the final round, or next week you may possibly meet my manager, like the interviewer's manager, or some other decision maker, and then that will be the final step. Or they can tell you that, so the final decision will be made by next Tuesday, you will expect a call by next Tuesday, or anything like that, giving you a clear time frame, or giving you a clear process, or a time that you're expected to be contacted. That's again a good sign. They are involving you in the process, they're telling you, informing you properly, and that again means it's a positive sign that you're doing well in the interview. Number 6, the last point that signs that shows you're doing well in the interview, is salary brought into the discussion. Normally, as we all know, salary, it's to the later part. It would normally left it to the later part, or the final process of taking on an offer or negotiating salaries. But if at the early stage, or in an earlier stage of the interview, you're asked about the salary expectations, or your expected salary, or such discussion, or packages, or the benefits that you can get as an employee, or what are you expecting, it's brought into conversation or discussion. That means, again, they are thinking about the next step. Apart from the things that they need you to fulfill in terms of experience, technical knowledges, your soft skills, it's only after all these things are being ticked, and then they will think about the salary. So if they're asking about such things, again, that could possibly mean that you already ticked all their boxes, so they're thinking about the next step. So again, if that happens, you're doing really well. All right, everyone, that's 6 general tips as in how you have performed well in your interview. Sometimes you may have a gut feeling that you did well and you liked it. It just flows. You like each other. Sometimes maybe you're not so sure. So these are some benchmarks that you can possibly check and think about if you did well. If there are several of them ticked, that means yes, you did well. So it's a good sign. And I hope that can be helpful to you guys. Again, if you like this video, please leave a like and then subscribe to our channel. And keep following us and supporting us. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. It's always the people who are taking the actions, you will be rewarded. And I'll see you in the next video.